Hey everyone, Billy Ribeiro here. Um, Long time no see. I'm back at the office today for a little while. I just figured, since I'm feeling, a little bit better, I'll just put out a video, on the market and with some potential trades here for you guys to take. At least consider taking the trades and also follow up on my health. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Like I said, it's been, roller coaster, days that I feel okay. I think I'm getting better to days that it just goes downhill, but I'm just grateful to be here, right? So first of all, guys, let's just go over one of the things that you know to me it's like the most important thing, right? Going over the weekly chart. So for an example here, we got levels on, a couple of tickers. But let's just go over the weekly here and see what we got, right? First of all, Apple, right? We've been on this uptrend here for quite a bit, right? And then what happened over here? We did break the uptrend. So which means this trend here is no longer valid unless you're trading this play that I'm going to be posting in lesson, which is a play that I came up with, which is called the fractal play, right? This trend here is no longer valid, right? But let's just make sure we're not cheating. The most important thing, like when you guys are drawing trend lines and things like that is, guys, do not cheat. Do not just like, all right, as you guys can see right here, I'm at the very bottom of the tick, right? At the very bottom of the tick to the very bottom of the tick. And this trend here, right? It was good for a while. You guys could see here, right? On these 2 days here. So it did work. It did hold nicely. Not days, weeks, right? Here, then here. So this was good for a while, for a good, for about a month, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, right? But no longer valid until, like I said, unless you know the fractal play, which I know you don't, right? So, and another thing to pay attention here is, okay, so let's just we have many different ways of, which is also it's part of my system as well, right? What to do with the trend line and how I use the trend line fan, to come up with targets, and these targets, they hit to its T. It's incredible how crazy it works, but this is not today's lesson. So, okay, we have the steep trend here, right? So, which once again, it's no longer valid. So we're gonna have to get even more compressed here. Okay, this is a valid trend. This trend here is valid. As you guys could see, I'm right at the top of the tick here. I'm right at the top of the tick and right at the top of the tick here, right? This trend here is, for now, we're not going over the fractal play. We're gonna go and see what we got here. Okay, as you guys could see, no cheating, right? I'm not just forcing, a trend. A lot of times what people do is, just in order for them to have a line, a trend line, they go and they just, right, cut, the wick, the body of the candle. No, this is not how you do a trend line. This is not how we draw it. So, okay, we have the trend line. One of the most important things that we do is always previous week high, low, right? And as you guys could see, the previous week high was pretty much like the top of the wick. It was right there, right? Very close. We were like pennies away, right? And previous week low. Previous week low. There you go, right? And then it's just that mentality. Okay, if it breaks to the upside, where's the nearest, right? The nearest weekly level that I have here. Okay, I look to my left. I'm like, okay, this one's higher, not this one. And this one is too close. 152 to 151.83 to 152.55. It's like 70 cents. The steady risk, gets us covered, right? So I would skip this one and get to the one above, right? So, and this is gonna be, my previous week high. This is the easiest way that I found to remember. So now let's do it to the downside. Previous week low, right? What happened over here? So where's the next? If it breaks to the downside, where's the nearest weekly low? 146.03. That's too close. I would go with, so it at least give us a little range, right? And guys, just to show like how honest I'm being right here, right? So this week is already in play, right? But I still want to show you guys, how this is done, because I know there's some bouncers around there, pretending to be traders. So con artists pretending to be traders. So, okay. So we got our weekly levels. So, right? Beautiful. Sounds like a plan. Now, okay. So the next thing we do is we go into our daily chart. Right? And then when we go to our daily chart, what we're doing is previous week, a previous day high and low. And then I actually created these indicators, but I don't like using them. Just there's something sabotage to your brain that you do by just like typing in, like drawing the lines yourself, right? Because I did the same thing with the weekly levels. And then I created a system where I know where every single moving average on the weekly is, just by doing some math and things like that. But there's something with just being able to see, and just by drawing the lines, that you sabotage your brain in a good way, that it just internalizes better, right? So, okay, this is today's trade, right? So this is what's going on today. The day is still at play, right? Okay, today is what, Wednesday? But just so we could see here, okay, now what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to maximize the screen. And then you guys are like, oh, yeah, those weekly levels, they didn't work, Guys, look, the high of day yesterday, right off of the previous weekly low. Now tell me these levels don't work. Tell me my system that I came up with don't work. All right, but let's go back to, okay, a couple of days, right? Okay, so this is Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Let's go into Monday here. Okay, Monday, right? Just based off the weekly levels. I'm not getting anything here off the chart. And as you guys know, right, on options, not smart people, they usually trade off of the 5, 15, 20 minutes. Guys, to trade options, if you guys can trade from 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, that's the right way to trade. Because why? Options, it's all about speed and distance. It's all about how fast it gets to that level, because it is the wasting asset. So that's why, sometimes you take a trade in the morning right at the open, and then, what you get in this move here, let's say this move here was $1.80. And then right here at the bottom, and then you get this reversal. And let's say this reversal was $2.30. And then the money that you made on this $1.80 here, it's much, much greater than you did, on this 230. And why is that? It's all about speed and distance, and time and distance as well. And why is that? It's all about how fast it gets up there, right? And then just buying red for buying calls, buying red, selling green on pops, and entering. Most of you guys know me. I've been on this trade as it was coming into this level, and I had insurance here and I had insurance here right at this level here. And my standard risk is what? $1.50. Right? I would have been covered right there. So, and by the way, you guys must be wondering, what this indicator is. It's just like an indicator that I started working on it like a long time ago, and I just decided to throw it there to see like what's going on, right? So, and what do we got here now? Right? I'm not cheating. I'm not a cheater. Bouncer, not a cheater. All right. So as you guys could see, it's right on the top of the tick here. Right? Look at that. So what is the trade to be taken over here? A pull back into the VWAP here. Right? As it pulls back into the VWAP, take a trade long, risking off of the 50 EMA. Right? And okay, we're going to be here for a while to we have plenty of time to see that trade taking place. Right? So, and then if that doesn't happen, you're not taking the trade, guys. You're not chasing. If you're buying options, you're not, listen to me, guys. You're not trading off of 2, 3, 5, 15 minutes chart. I'm sorry, but there's some really, mental issues. 5 minutes, same thing. Like if you want to be a day trader, call yourself a day trader, like it's 1 minute, it's too slow, it's the least. And this indicator here, guys, as you guys could see, right? So we had a sell signal here, which happened to be right there, right? And then together with a buy signal right here, right? That's why, for 1 minute, it should completely, right? Just ignore. That's why oscillators are, any type of oscillator that you use, it's not useful. The best thing you could do is do not rely on indicators and just rely on price action. Just rely on move prior to the move. If you want to learn the move prior to the move, I'm the only one that can teach this, because I've cracked the code. Not a bouncer, okay? So, all right, let's just see what's going to happen here. And meanwhile, okay, and then what would be the target here if it, all right, grabbing this trade off here to the VWAP, it's wedging, right? So, and it's looking pretty strong at the same time, right? It's right in the 9 EMA, so the 9 is momentum, even though we don't have liquidation, right? No liquidation. It's not liquid. Let's look into a longer time frame here. Okay, so the point of control on Apple, 141.32. Let's draw that. That's the point of control, right? Point of control. And then I try to make sure like I draw every single, you know, like if it's the point of control, I make sure like it's the same color as the indicator, and then that I, you know, write the name on it, or just the initials, whatever it's easier, right? So okay, and then what we see here, we see that like these counter channels, they're all like okay, squeeze, right? You guys understand? It's just like expanding. It's not contracting, right? So it's just which tells us that, right, we're going to get a pop here. Potentially target here would be this level, 142-ish, right? But okay, can you guys see just like how off the weekly level here, we had trades that, right, worked beautifully. Boom. Point of control, if, right? As you guys know, I took the blank chart, right? Everything was clear. But right off the trade, right off the point of control, right? 50, rejection of the 50, rejection of the 50. Every time the stock is bearish, right? One of the things that you guys could look for, one, really good indicator is the 50 EMA. Not the SMA, it's the 50 EMA. It's a good place for you to target. Okay, I'm going to take from here to the 50. And every time you see the rejection on the 50, it's very bearish, right? It just continues down, right? Let's say, had you taken this trade right here, boom, at the rejection of the 50, right? Not a trade that I would take, right? I would take the trade right up here. But one of the things that you could have done was, okay, a rejection of the 50, okay, broke the VWAP, you take the trade. As long as it's holding the 21, you're in. The minute that it breaks the 21, you're out. Right? So many things that you could do here in order to just like make money, right? And the easy way. So okay, here it is coming down. Let's see if that trade will take place here that we talked about. A pull back to the VWAP and to a bounce right into, okay, this 142 level, 141.90-ish. Okay, let's just grab it here, guys. Okay, as it's coming down to the VWAP, and okay, the point of control here would be, I usually give it $1.50, but okay, quarter size here, or half, and then adding another quarter, right, as it pulls back into the point of control. Any pop here on green candle, selling some, right? You got a perfect game plan. Perfect game plan right here. Boom. Pull back to the VWAP. I love these trades, these trades are usually good, and the stats are just like phenomenal, right? They work like over 90% of the time. And then if you understand the level system, it works 100% of the time, because you know exactly where, a place to add and sell on the pop. Right? So I'm expecting a drop to the 50 here, dash point of control, and then whatever. So what would be the game plan here? So, and this is the thing. This is when you have to be careful if something is going to turn against you. It will bounce off the 50. Adding at the 50 dash point of control, okay, the VWAP has to be your target. In this case here, there's not much time and distance, but still, in order to be safe, right, you have to add as it's coming down and sell on a pop, right? So you get that, pop on the premium, right? And like I was saying, guys, you see, last signal from the indicator, it was a sell signal right here. And what happened? A sell signal, and it took off. That's why you cannot rely on indicators. The best thing you could rely on is just on learning how to trade. There's no holy grail indicator. There's none of that. Right? So all the EMAs here are, crossing, right? Stacking negatively, right? Okay, the 5 just crossed the 21. We're trading below the VWAP here, so, right, kind of, right? And in my opinion, we're going to come back and revisit this trade. It's just compressing here for a bigger pop. So what is this dash line here? It's the previous close, previous day close, right? Okay, we're getting that pop there. Boom. Now let's take a look at it, at the 30 minutes chart, right? So taking a look at the 30 minutes, let me just do one thing here and eliminate this, leave everything else. Because yeah, I like to just see the charts, right? I don't like to see indicators. I want to be able to read the price action here and see what's going on. Right, and this is a 30 minutes chart, and we do have like a 30 and 60-minute squeeze. It's something that you should definitely avoid, because you should definitely not trust the squeeze. And then if you know how to read a chart, you know exactly when things are compressing for a squeeze, and you know exactly which way it's going to go, right? If it's up or down. That's a fact. So, but meanwhile, right, let's just okay, let's look at other tickers here and see what's going on, right? Okay, trade here working beautifully. You could sell some if you want to, right? Boom. We're definitely selling some here as it's pushing towards the trend line. And then try to hold into this 141.90 level, right? So, all right. As it's getting close, you guys could see, right? That's why as it's getting close, right? You don't wait until it gets there to sell. So you want to sell on momentum. That's how you get paid. So, all right, let's look at other takers here. So let me just take a look at my scanner and see if there's any interesting takers here. Okay, let me just, my bad. All right, let me just see what we got going on here. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at Tesla and see what Tesla's doing. I haven't seen Tesla for ages. I haven't been really watching the stock market. Okay, Tesla. Oh, it's weird enough. So these are all older levels. Figure that worked, right? But let's just do the same thing here on Tesla, right? Clear. Let's just start with the weekly chart. This is all we need to do, guys, right? Bounce off of the 200 SMA on the weekly, very close. We had the buy signal right there, right? And then we go previous week high. And let's just, if it goes a bit higher, let's just see what's, okay. Okay, previous week high. Okay, it has to be something here that I want to see at least like 2 touches, right? Which it happens, oops, right here, right? I want to see a place that it has confirmed at least like more than, more than once. Okay, previous week buy. The same thing to the downside. I just want to make sure that this is it. Didn't go. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, that's it right there. Okay. And okay, same thing to the downside. If it breaks to the downside, oh, yeah, it's gonna be hard. Because to the downside, it was right a retracement to the previous swing high, as you guys could see, right? 166.19. So, and then it would be right, it would be right at the 153 issue, right into the stop. Right, but we do the same on every single ticker. The plan is the same. So this way, you guys don't need to be, a master and reading price action. You guys can just trade off of, use these levels to take trades and succeed, right? No hentai, just following these simple levels and stuff. Okay. All right. Let's just go into the daily. Look at how crazy this is, guys. Right? Yesterday, the trade would have worked beautifully. It broke by a little bit, but right within the standard risk. Today, the top, right at the previous swing high, right? Let's just go. Okay, let's just do this. Previous day high and low. Previous day low. Previous day high. And look, guys, almost to the pennies, right? We would have caught the bottom of this yesterday. Look, right? Would have caught the top and the bottom. Look at Monday, right? I don't know what else to tell you guys. I don't know what else to do in order to show how simple this is. And look, right, even though it breaks, right, it comes right down into a place where if you give the proper standard risk, if it's bullish, the VWAP in 50 is a good place to get out. Right, but let's look into today's price action. Right off of the previous week high, guys. Almost to the pennies, right? So previous week high, previous day high, right? So, and this is ooh, look at this. Look at this pop. Very interesting. So, and this is the wiggle room that you guys have. And definitely targets, right? Definitely a target for sure. Okay, this is wiggle room dash standard risk, whatever you guys want to call it. Let's take a look at Apple. Okay, now what? I'm wrapping up this lesson. You guys just tell me who the man is. Bouncer. There are levels to this, guys. There are levels to this, right? Love me or hate me, but I am the GOAT. I am the best ever. And no one can beat me. All right, enjoy. I'm done with this lesson. All right. I'm the best. Bouncer. Keep on doing a good bouncing job. You're going to need it.